to avoid 3 straight losses at home dating back to last year's playoff debacle. Ravens trying to avoid Lamar's first 0-3 start. Here's Dak Prescott.
We've just got to go out there and play our best. I mean, it's week 3. I mentioned it after the game to you guys, right? It's about a process, and we can't get overwhelmed. We can't get overwhelmed in what people are writing about us. It's simply a process that we've got to focus on getting better each and every day with the right attitude that we come in here and understand that we're trying to put the best versions of ourselves on the field each and every Sunday, regardless of what's happened the last Sunday. It's the NFL.
Dak's quotes have been perfect.
They have.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. This season, Lamar versus Dak. I know Lamar hasn't won a game, but 344 yards total, pretty good. So, Brew, we'll start with you. Who you got here?
Ravens all day. They've got they win off paper and on paper. Because off paper, the intangibles of they're the more desperate team. Now, Dallas is desperate too. They need to win. But obviously, the Ravens are more desperate. They have the higher motivation level. And then on paper, their strengths are like perfectly fit for Dallas's weaknesses. Like, one, Dallas has been bad against the run. Last week, New Orleans, almost 200 yards rushing, just totally pushing them around. And obviously, Baltimore, even at 0-2, they got one of the top rush games in the league. If they really get Derrick Henry going, and then you always have to worry about Lamar, that's going to be a problem. They've averaged 5.7 yards per rush. So if they don't go away from the run, a lot of that's Lamar.
Yeah.
But if they don't go away from the run, and Lamar's probably, I don't want him to get too amped up, kind of like he was against Kansas City, but he's going to be amped up to the point where he's like, whatever it takes to win. So I think he is going to be running a lot, probably scrambling. And then defensively, Dallas can't run the ball. We thought their running back room was weak, and it is. Yeah. And the Ravens will be able. They've had a decent pass rush, but now that they know they're not worried about the run, they're going to really be able to get after Dak. And I think, Nick, it makes that offense one-dimensional and predictable.
I think it'll be one-dimensional.
And so I think the Ravens will be able to defend it more because they'll know what's coming. And I don't think Dak's at his best without a run game. I think he's always best when he's got a run game. The bright spot, Deuce Vaughn has doubled his yards per carry. The bad spot is still only 3 yards a rush. It was 1.7 last year, though. No improvement.
So you said a lot there. What you didn't say is Baltimore is the worst pass defense in football. Number 32. Number 32 in yards allowed, number 30 in yards per pass, number 30 in completion percentage at 76%, giving up a quarterback rating of 98, and be like, well, they played Mahomes. But they also played, and don't call him, Wilds, you were right. Gardner Minshew is like the Patriots, wildly overrated by you. And they also played Gardner Minshew. If I were... The only reason Cowboys +1 is not going to be in Nick's picks in 30 minutes is because I'm a little concerned CeeDee Lamb could be a game day scratch or a guy who, you know what I mean, warms up and doesn't play. And I don't think the Cowboys can win without him. But if he plays, I've got the Cowboys. I think the Ravens, coach, almost every year, there's a team like this. The season from hell. Wow, that team that we all thought was going to be at least good, if not great, is bad. Last year, it was Cincinnati, call that the injuries, fine, and the Chargers. Off a playoff berth, there was Herbert in year 4 or year 3. It was year 4 last year, and they won 5 games. The year before, it was the Packers coming off back-to-back 13 or 12-win seasons. Rodgers 2 MVPs, they win 8 games. And the Rams, season from hell from them, they won 5 or 6 games. The year before that, it was Cleveland and Baltimore. The year before that, it was Houston and San Francisco. Sometimes that's quarterback injury. Sometimes it's just season from hell. And so I like Dallas in this spot. Derrick Henry has gone for 100 yards once in his last 7 games. He's gone for 100 yards 4 times since the start of last season. Last year he was 4.2 a carry. This year he's 4.2 a carry. So I just think he's He's still a good back, but I don't think you get the punch that people thought they were getting.
84 against the Raiders.
Well, second half, he had 7 yards a carry.
Yes, and he ripped off one great run. I understand that. I don't think he's bad.
No.
I just don't think he is best running back in football type of player anymore. I like Dallas in this spot.
Here's what I don't like, and Dak does a good job with press conferences, but I don't even like the fact that he's referencing that guys are listening to what everybody's saying and reading what everybody's saying. That for that to even creep into the locker room or to the mentality of the players, that to me is a problem. And when you hear Lamar talk, he talks about trying to get the problems fixed, and there's an accountability element to it. You hear Micah talk, and it's like, well, not everybody gave 100% effort. Not everybody gave 100% effort in the home opener. We're not talking about week 12 or 14 where maybe for whatever reason there's a down game. And this is the home opener, which to me is shocking. And it also doesn't talk about accountability. It's not about what can I fix. The other thing I'd say about Lamar is he can be Superman at any point. And he can literally take over games where Dak, a lot of things have to go right. When you're, CD's got to be right, the protection's got to be good. Literally, Lamar can take over games with the way that he runs the ball. And if they can get Derrick Henry in some kind of pattern and really understand how he fits with Lamar best, and I would imagine they're creeping closer to that, I think it's Baltimore.
Oof.
Can I ask Coach a quick question about the? So Micah ran a 4.39, which for a guy his size is remarkable. Yeah. Obviously, Lamar ran faster than that. I don't even know if Lamar ran the 40, but if he did, it would have been faster than that. I'm not saying Micah's as fast as Lamar. Do you think we see Mike Zimmer occasionally in this game tell Micah Parsons, spy? We're going to have he played middle linebacker in college at times. They've talked about it. Brew brought up yesterday, and Wilds has, Lamar crushes the NFC, 20-1 in his career because teams that don't see him don't know how to deal with him. I do think this is a put up or shut up game for Micah to a degree. Do you think they ask him to do that?
Yeah, look, you're going to want to have some spy coverages when you got to cover, and especially if it's man coverage, having someone responsible for the quarterback. But part of that is having a coordinated rush with the other three guys. So you have to design it so you know where the quarterback's getting to. You actually open the gate on one side. You rush in a certain way that pushes the quarterback
where
to that
the spy
side.
Is going to be.
Yeah, it screams, hey, roll out. And ideally, you want it to go opposite the quarterback's dominant arm so the spy knows exactly where to fit. Now, the other thing with the spy is he's got to be patient enough to wait for that guy to fall into the trap. Micah seems like, he's stuck on go, and maybe you want to use him as one of the rushers and try to take somebody else who will be more patient to be that spy.
Can I have a counterpoint to that, or just see if it's analogous? It seems a little bit, when we talk about trying to figure out why he's 21 against the NFC, it's like they don't know how to deal with him. It's like, oh, here's the idea, spy. It does seem a little bit like Mike Malone and the Joker, where it's like, I know you guys think you have a plan for this guy, but we have seen everybody's plan, and we have fixed everybody's solution. We've solved everybody's solution.
Can I respond real quick? I think sometimes spying Lamar is you might as well just play 10 on 11, because it's like, well, now you're just wasting a guy because your spy is not as athletic or as fast as Lamar, and he's just going to get dusted. Even if the defense is perfect, you get him to the side, Lamar's going to outrun him. Mike is a special player. Hubs told me here, Lamar ran a 4.34, Micah ran a 4.39. I'm not saying, again, I don't think Micah would beat him in a race. But if there's any pass rushing linebacker, defensive end hybrid in the whole league who could do it, I would think it'd be Micah Parsons. And this is where you expect the best player on your team, to Coach's point, who has talked a lot, you know what I mean, to have a big game in this spot.
But also with those spies is you're going to call them in particular circumstances. And the thing with Lamar is he takes off at any point. So you can't have a spy in every play.
Right.
And then when you incorporate those quarterback-driven runs where he's got an option to either hand it off or pull it, you got to have an answer for that. You want to have a spy in the passing game, but it's layers upon layers with a guy that's dangerous every time he runs.
Okay. Good job, Coach.
Hey, thanks.
This one could get ugly.
Really?
In which direction?
The Ravens make it ugly for the Cowboys.
The last
To get back to vintage Mahomes, it's good Mahomes, not necessarily MVP Mahomes. Chiefs in the regular season since Mahomes was a starter. Recently, a little downward trend. The wins by 15 points is really interesting, 20-1. So are you